I've had a request to explain the letter J. But before we do that, I feel we ought to just meet all 27 characters first. So we'll start at the beginning. Well, the beginning has to start with the A. That is all. It can't be anything else. It's everything. It's all. All there is, all there will be, and all that was. The beginning and the end, the alpha and the omega. There's your alpha part of it. What comes after all? Well, just be, of course. You are a human being, are you not? Now, if you can see A and B, next in the sequence is C. Now, do you see? But what happens if you bring in number 4? Because you're in 4 bodies. C and D, there's your seed. The seed leads to E, which is energy. Albert said E equals. E is the energy part. Now, for the seed, the energy needs to go into the next character, which is fem. It's not F, it's fem. So it's the F, the E for energy, so it's female, hence feminine. There's your fem. So your fem is the F, the E of energy, and the M of masculine. Join the two, and there's the energy of creation. Where does this take place? Well, that's Gaia, that's the earth. There's your G. Because if you feel the gravity of the situation in the material world, it's pulling you down. But you have to be grounded. That's another G. Now, what's being grounded? Well, that's the human. That's your 2 eyes that's bridged in the middle in balance. The letter H. It's not H, it's H because it's in balance. The pronunciation of these things has been deliberately obscured. But when you bring those 2 eyes together and you collapse that middle bit, it becomes one, it becomes I. Now the next character is one to watch. It's very similar in its lowercase form to the I. They're the only 2 with the dots above them. It's the separated mind's eye. But when we capitalize on it, now it's the J. Notice it's got a hook. Now be very careful of that one, because that leads to K. That's an I. Now you can go to the right of that, because we're in linear time in this material realm. You can go one of 2 ways. You can go up or you can go down. What can go up or down? Well, we're back to L again. This is the lower calf and the 2 souls. Lower calves and 2 souls. There's your letter L. That's what that character represents. Next we have the sine wave, the M, which is actually mem, because again it would be out of balance, or it's electromagnetic. The M, which is me. But when you bring that back together, it becomes N. It's still the sine wave. It rises up, it falls, and then it rises again. It's organic, it's whole. There's your O. That's followed by pi, P. Everybody wants a slice of pie, but the problem is the whole gets tied to the material realm, and then you'll find you're in a very long queue. You're going to be waiting for a very long time, and you will feel the weight of it. Ra comes next. Ra is the sun. After Ra comes the Ses, not the shit type Ses, the SES, spirit, energy, spirit, divine masculine, divine feminine energy, the Ses, which leads to T. That's I at your highest level. That's God. That's the creator, basically, in the sort of human form. Hence you get thee, thy, and thou. So T, H, E. God, human, energy. That's V. Which of course is you. And you're in 5 senses and you've made a descent to Earth. So that's why it's a V. But then of course we're in a realm of duality, so it becomes double V or double U. Which, if you get caught up in this duality, you're going to crucify yourself on an X, on a cross. Then you'll be nailed to it and you will be forming the shape of the Y, and you're asking yourself, why has this happened to me? Why is this happening? Because you've forgotten who you are. Now the next one is the one to really watch out for, the Z. Notice it's a mirror of the S, but it's now been totally straightened out. But that's not the end. Now you can keep going around that loop of 26. 2 and 6 is 8. It's eternal. It just keeps playing out over and over again. So what's missing? The Alpha and the Omega. What happens if you take all energy? You've got A and E. Now what happens if you fuse those together? When you become one with God. The A and the E is the ampersand, the silent 27th character, the one that has no sound because it is in the unseen, the all and everything. It is encoded in your 5 senses when you see, when you hear, when you feel. Just depends how you spell these things. But it's, just look at the spelling B. Just B. So hopefully that's given you a nice sort of taster of what these characters are all about.